Shalom u'bracha, peace and blessings. This week's Torah reading opens the fourth book of the Torah that we know as Sefer Bamidbar, the book of Bamidbar, which is commonly known as Numbers. The name Numbers comes from what's going on in the narrative as the book opens up. As we open up Sefer Bamidbar, Moshe is commanded by God to take a census of the children of Israel, and they total 603,550. This is a number of significance that we'll get back to. When we look at this commandment to count the children of Israel, it seems to be out of line with our tradition. When we're offered the opportunity to count people for a purpose, we try to find ways of counting that doesn't actually count them, but will go about it by an alternative means. Most famously, when we count for a minyan, when we count for a prayer quorum, rather than counting people 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, we choose a verse that has 10 words. We assign a word to each person, and once we've gotten to 10, we know that we have a minyan. The verse that's most commonly used is Hoshia Samecho Varches Nachlasecho Urim V'Nasem Ad Ha'olam. And those of us who grew up near our grandparents, who may have come from a European generation, know that there was a strong aversion to counting children or grandchildren. Each one was considered a gift to be appreciated as the unique gem of who they are. Yet, we see in this week's Torah reading that God commands Moshe to count the Jewish people. To make this more complex, when we fast forward to David HaMelech, to King David, David HaMelech's sin, one of his sins, was that he counted the people. So for David HaMelech, for King David, it was a sin to count the people, and for Moshe Rabbeinu, for Moses our teacher, it was a mandate. Rav Gedalia Shor teaches us that the answer to this dilemma is found in the text itself. Commonly, Se'u es Rosh Koladas B'nai Yisrael. Count the heads of the entire community of Israel is the traditional translation that we'll find in the majority of the translated texts that we find. However, Rav Shor points out that the word Se'u means lift up their heads. That it was not simply a census, it was a process that lifted up and appreciated the people. So let's try to understand this process and see what lesson it can give us about our relationships and about our communities. It says, Su'u es rosh kol hadas b'nei Yisrael, lift up the heads of the entire community of Israel, L'mishpachosam, according to their families. When you get to know somebody, find out a little bit about their spouse, about their children, about what it is that is precious to them, who it is that is precious to them. Leveis avosam, according to their father's house or their family of origin. Find out a little bit about their history. Find out where they grew up. Find out about the culture of where they came from and the unique gifts that represents. B'mispar shemos, according to their names. Names are a wonderful thing. They help us recall a set of emotions that is attached to an individual, both positively and negatively. Mr. David Mell, who was a Holocaust survivor in the congregation that I grew up in, explained to me that this, he believes, is the reason that Hitler decided to give the Jews numbers and take away their names, because it took away the names represented the uniqueness of who they are, and it took them away. When we count within a Jewish community, when we count people that are important to us, it needs to be done in a way that represents the unique nature of who they are. We want to understand who they are, who their family is, where they come from, and the dreams and aspirations that drive them forward. And that is the recipe for a sacred community. Communities are a sum total of the individuals that exist within us. It is not a matter of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a matter of appreciating the beauty of those individuals who exist within the room. There's another teaching that relates to this verse from the Baal Shem Tov, from the father of Hasidic Judaism. This census, this counting, results in a tally of 603,550. This number is significant because if we take the vowels and the consonants that are in a Sefer Torah, of course, the vowels don't exist. We have to understand them through context. The vowels and consonants that are in a Sefer Torah, it totals 603,550. The Baal Shem Tov teaches us that we can understand that this correlation is to teach us something. What is it to teach us? That just as in a Sefer Torah, in a Torah scroll, if a letter is missing, if one letter is missing, the Torah becomes not proper to use. It changes the dynamic of the entire Torah. So too, in a sacred community, when one person is missing, it changes the entire dynamic of the community. With this teaching, the Baal Shem Tov teaches us that each person brings their unique gifts to the community. And if one person is, God forbid, missing from our community, then the entire dynamics of the community changes. Long before there were discussions about inclusiveness within a community, the Baal Shem Tov understood the importance of including everybody. May we be blessed as a community to live up to the tagline that exists on all of our documentation: a dynamic and inclusive Jewish community. Shabbat Shalom.